It's Doug with America's Best Restaurants. As you know it, we travel the country coast to coast to find restaurants and breweries that you can enjoy on a weekly basis. We are in Columbia, South Carolina. We are at the Twisted Spur Brewing. This is Chris. He's the genius behind it all. So tell us, what exactly is Twisted Spur?
So Twisted Spur was something we came up with back in 2014, really. And I was currently living on the West Coast. I grew up here in Columbia, so we kind of started looking around. I was working at a brewery restaurant at the time, and this idea on the West Coast of incorporating restaurants and brewery together with food pairings and beer was something really exciting. And obviously I had some family members here, and we didn't really think that this area had anything like that. The brewery scene had started to develop, but we didn't really have a combination brew pub type restaurant brewery together. So we started doing some thinking, and basically got a business plan down, and Twisted Spur is what we ended up with. Twisted Spur, of course, is a little homage myself to the Gamecocks here, who I'm actually a member of their alumni. So came up with the name, got the business plan down. We do have a full-blown brewery on site, as well as a 2,000 square foot kitchen. Nice. And we've got about 150 seats. Our idea was to do as much as we can in-house to, cut our own steaks by hand, make our own sauces, do as much as we can here, and incorporate the beer into our food as much as possible too. So it's kind of the basis of what we're doing here, and as you can see, it's been pretty good for us so far. So.
Love it. Hey, we profile at least 3 items. We're gonna go a little more this time. We're gonna do some food. We gotta have a beverage or two, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, come on. What's wrong with having a little frosty cold beverage or two? So we're gonna talk about pairings. We're gonna show some beverages. We're gonna show some food. We're going all out in this episode. So obviously you're interested in food. You're probably thirsty as well. So why don't you come with us? We're gonna go inside and we're gonna check it out. Let's go. We're back, we're inside. We said 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. We didn't really know exactly how many items we were gonna profile. We have 3 dishes and 3 brews. So Chris, let's go number 1. What are we looking at here, and what's the pairing?
So you're looking at the Twisted Wedge Salad. So it's basically just like a baby romaine heart that we split in half and lay over across. We put our fresh blue cheese crumbles on top of it with some ranch dressing, just fresh sliced tomatoes, and our house bacon. We do a fresh blackened piece of chicken on this version for you. Honestly, we do it with any protein here at the brewery, so kind of make your own dish a little bit, you know what I mean? I paired it today with the Hefeweizen, which is a German-style wheat beer. It's got a lot of banana and clove. The characters on that, a little bit of sweetness is going to work well with the cheese and the dressing on the salad, so as well as a little bit of that blackening seasoning.
It works well even when you don't have the salad. You just have this. So I'll go ahead and keep this one. This one's mine. The crew can have the other one. Yeah. All right, item number 2. That's like Jaws. I mean, that is one huge piece of fish.
That's it. It is a classic London-style fish and chips, and that's a 12-ounce piece of haddock you're looking at. And so we make our batter in-house here, and we actually make it with the Deadhead Red beer, which I'll get to in a second. Okay. And we paired with it. So that is a beer battered fish, flash fried over just a bed of fries with our house-made lemon aioli and the pickled onions we do in-house as well. We paired it with the Deadhead Red, which, like I said, makes the batter, gives it a little bit of maltiness and some of that sweetness, kind of similar to like an Oktoberfest style, German beer. So, but very good pairings, probably our most popular dish. It's been around since we were.
And even down to the paper. That looks like it's newspaper.
Yeah, that's kind of how they would do it in London, I think. So that's what we do here. And of course, if you're traditional, I've got some malt vinegar in the back for you. So,
If you want to go old school, there you go.
Old school, yeah.
All right. And last but not least, we've been sampling the fries, but what are we looking at and what's the pairing?
So this is a really cool item. This is actually our Nacho Burger, which doesn't really look like a traditional burger. But what we do here is we make an in-house black bean patty. We incorporate that together into like a patty in-house with some seasonings, a little bit of spice, tomatoes, lettuce on top with a little bit of the sauce, and just put it into a tortilla. Cool thing about this dish is it's vegan. So it reaches a large market of, people that may necessarily be looking for some alternative, options on menus. And we decided to make the dish vegan so we could appeal to those markets as well. We paired that with our Twisted IPA, which is our house IPA here. It's kind of a hybrid IPA, so it's appealing to all drinkers. Felt like a little bit of the spice in the Nacho Burger would probably go pretty well with the bitterness in the beer. Spice and bitterness tend to pair pretty well together generally, so hopefully that works out. We've also got some Cajun spice on the fries, so I think you can be pretty happy with that pairing.
It's got a good kick. Now I want you to explain one thing that you do on the back end when you're brewing with what you do with the water and the filtration, because you take it to a whole new level, man.
Right. So all the beer here is made with special filtered brewery water, which we actually filter through a 6-stage filter. We use water softeners, ion exchanges, carbon filters, as well as sediment filters, and then pump the whole thing through an RO system and sterilize it before we make any of our beer. Gives us water that's about 40 to 80 times more pure than what we'd have here in our Columbia water system, and it'd be about 100 times more pure than what I brewed with in Las Vegas.
And I love the analogy you had about Picasso painting. Give that to us one more time.
I always explain to people, usually when I give a tour, I ask, what are the 4 main ingredients in beer? People inevitably say hops, malt, and yeast. People forget the biggest ingredient, which is water. Beer's about 90% water. And what I say, if you're gonna make the best beer, or something like that, if we started with our tap water, we'd be starting with a bunch of chlorine or particulates or things in the water. If we start with our water, we're starting with a blank slate. So if you wanted Picasso to draw you a masterpiece, you wouldn't hand him a canvas with a bunch of scribble on it. You hand him a blank canvas. So that's what we start with here, is a blank canvas, and that's how we treat our beer and the water for our beer. So.
I love it. While I grab the beautiful work of art, tell the folks how they can find you online, social media. Where do they find you?
So you can go to our website at twistedspurbrewing.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram as well. You can find us any of those spots. We are in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. We're in the Vista, which is at the heart of downtown, about a mile directly west of the Capitol here. So you can come down and see us. We're open every day but Wednesday. So any day other than that, we do dinners during the week and then brunch on the weekends as well, which is a pretty fun experience. There you go.
Sounds good. And they have a full listing right here on americasbestrestaurants.com. That'll wrap up this episode. I'm going to wrap up this glass of beer. So if you want to sample this and this, you got one choice. You need to come here. So when you're in Columbia, if you visit, you're in for a ball game, you're in for anything, this is the place you need to visit. If you live around here, why aren't you here on a weekly basis? Because that's what you need to do. It's time for me to go. Thanks for watching. I'm out.